welcome back to Nugget Garage. This bit fell off.
The front fell off?
So a friend of mine, Kiwi, needed some food for, what does he need, money for food or something?
Did you just say he's your friend?
Well, sometimes he is.
That's funny.
So he came in, we pulled the motor out, and he's been in here with a toothbrush and degreaser and actually made Grandpa's engine bay good enough, I think. We don't need to paint it. It's fine.
No.
And today, hopefully he's coming in to do the same treatment to the block, try and get it back to all alloy. We've painted the covers. We decided to go with gloss black and flat black, and we're going to murder it out, yo.
It'll look good.
Yeah. So that's why all this crap's off. It's going to paint it black. All the accessories are all getting freshened up. I painted this black, and it actually doesn't look shit anymore. How good is black paint?
It's good stuff, eh?
Yeah.
Did you look at it?
I've stopped up though because I forgot to put my little bracket out here for the line pressure cable.
Oh,
so I'm going to have to unmurder it in one spot and then remurder it. I've got to make a few changes to the fuel rail post heights and stuff, so we'll pull that apart in a second and get a video of that. I also got Kiwi to cut the lower radiator support mounts out. So that's, obviously it's not sitting on rubbers at the moment, but that's in a way better position already.
You've changed your mind on manifolds?
Oh yeah, exhaust manifolds, I tried to weld them yesterday because they're supposed to be getting coated this week, or now. But I was trying to put V-bands in here, and I kind of expected it to happen. Even though I had everything bolted up square on the head, I welded 2/3 of the way around it on the engine, took it to the bench and welded the other third, and it moved. So they wouldn't line up, they were going to leak. That was making everything go on the piss and the flanges not pull flat. I didn't realise that I could actually get a 50mm long expansion. So I'll get them welded in today and we'll get these off to the coaters. They did say they'll get back to them by the end of the week, but that's if I sent it there on Monday and today's Tuesday.
Yeah.
And COVID. Alright, so I did a mock-up on the fuel rail fitment. I had to make some posts. I actually got to use my lathe stuff.
Oh yeah, you got to use, oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're a latherer.
Mind you, I don't have any actual tooling or a tool post, but all I can do is just drill holes at the moment. So I made them. Had to machine a bit off the tab on the rail because the rails kind of sit inwards and I didn't realise. And that also meant that I had to use the drill lathe to machine down some stainless bolts, make their head a bit smaller because of the angle they go in at. It's no biggie. Got around it. So you can see when you put these in, they sit pretty close to the box. It's just alright. There's a way around it. Golby's hooked me up again with injectors. Now we've used those 980cc to 1150cc injectors, which is about too much, well, twice as much as what I need. Probably 3 times as much as what I need. But these injectors are common as muck and cheap. And their spray pattern's quite good, so it's going to be a flex fuel tune, so 12 1000cc injectors on 98. It might be alright.
Might be a bit much.
On ethanol it'll be fine.
Just means you'll have to run on E85. Okay.
I don't have an ethanol servo anywhere near me anymore because Caltex didn't see the need to keep it. Dickheads.
Thanks, Caltex.
Yeah, Ampol now. This manifold needs a bit more cleaning. There's like all sandy, crunchy noises in these threads.
Oof.
So I don't get fancy BPP, fancy fuel rails, but check out my black anodizing.
Is that exhaust paint?
No, it's engine enamel. Alright, so I guess we've got to find a A340 cable to get a reference. Need to figure out that length. Maybe I just measure it and then just wing it. It's usually what I do. $125. But I should just be able to do this, I think.
Could possibly go. You're right.
I need some aluminum. Got to cut a slot, bro. Sorry, Andrew. No, I'm not.
Didn't stick.
See there?
Nice glove. Burnt the paint.
Yeah, it's going to require a bit of a repair job there. 25-ish, so it'll be fine.
You love it? Ready for the paints.
Yeah, imagine if I did this before it got. Not everything goes to plan, mate. That's the thing. Is that a sufficient amount of prep, do you reckon?
Sure.
Oh, sandy. There's a Jake in there. It's funny because it's true.
What are you doing in there, Jake? Get out!
It's sandy.
He still wouldn't watch the video, so it's okay. Still sounds sandy.
Does he?
Sounds a bit like Jake.
There's a little bit of Jake in there. Look at it. Would you look at that? Yeah.
You love it?
It's fine. It's the Toyota way. Well, just not send it. Chipped a bit of your paint off.
It's alright, we'll match your rocket colour that could be stuffed up.
Yeah, it's contrasting. If I hold it up, can you blame me?
Wow.
Would you look at it?
Did you look at that? Does look good, Blake.
So many things to wire. Well, I'll do it like I do normally in little modules. Doish, doish. Could probably order these today.
Fittings and junk and stuff.
So we got these fittings, and we put the engine back into there. So got the power steering plumbed up, both sides, and the aircon plumbed up, and a vacuum pulled on it. And one of the pipes is just kinked, so Kevo will be back
Good job, Kev.
to fix that up. We're going to put the gearbox in and everything today. I actually did that last week. Well, I don't remember where we're up to time-wise compared to where they are.
We're a week after, but they don't know that. But anyway,
Well, we done fitted the gearbox. We'll actually have fully fitted the gearbox right to the point where the tail shaft linkages, everything was in, and then I realised, looking back on my footage, that I didn't do one bell housing bolt up inside the gearbox. And then when I pulled that apart and I put it back together, the converter went straight onto the pump drive again. That's like 3 times in a row that I jagged it first go. so I knew something was up. So I turned it some more and it actually went 19mm more into the gearbox, which means all of my posts on the converter were too short. That's not my fault, I never made it. It was actually a 7M converter I'm trying to use on the 1G, thinking that because it's a smaller diameter it might be a little bit stally behind this. So we went to my mate Kip's house last night and we did some industry standard things to this 7M converter. Did a 19mm extension on there and 19mm longer posts. And just for the people playing at home in the comment section, we did put it on a lathe and drew it up. So, yeah.
Or did you?
I did use one of my Weber drilling jets to centerboard this though.
Oh no.
So yeah, we'll put the gearbox back in today, and what I really want to do is put and make the oil filter extension. Well, we've got to remote mount it. And the thing is freaking massive, so it's going to be up here somewhere. And I've cut the housing, the original bracket in half, and then we're going to put AN fittings on here and lines in between and a bracket to here somewhere. And that means I'll be able to put oil on the engine, put the starter in, and crank it over, get oil pressure.
Of which we have the starter now.
We do have the starter motor now.
I don't know if they saw that, but we have the new starter now.
It looks like a starter motor and it's new.
Yeah. Did you look at it?
The other thing that we've got to do this week too is Golby sent me some 52mm thick spal fans, and they actually fit inside the radiator, between the motor and the radiator, by about 2mm.
Are you using that super radiator, hey?
Yep.
The one that was in there before?
Yep, got to cut that and move a tank and had a couple of pipes to it. Also sort the heater tap out that Chris broke. And
He's
then,
disrespecting me.
so by the end of this week we should have gearbox in, manifolds back from the coders. Pretty much ready for wiring, I guess, eh? And fuel system.
Yeah.
And transcooler.
Might even make starter motory noises yet. This week, maybe.
Yep.
Alright, do things.
Stuff. Oh, speed flowies.
What are you doing?
Smells like Australian made. So intentionally I linished it at about a 3-degree angle. No, I did. So you can physically get the fittings on.
Thinking.
Yeah.
Is this like welding montage stuff?
Yeah, but remember how I said I didn't want to use those fittings because it was going to suck because the welding edge sucks. Well, it sucks. So I'm going to get rid of the Haltech for the Cressida. I'm just going to put a Weber carby on it because the comment section reckons that I'm an awesome Weber tuner. I think they may have missed the point of that video just
Maybe.
slightly. Man, I got some lectures. There's the most comments we got for a while. That's good for YouTube.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Bump up our CPM for this month.
It didn't actually. I think
No,
that
actually, it took a dive.
Yeah.
Probably too many people throwing their beers at the TV and turning it off. Drilled out that air bleed. That was Steve. If you listen carefully, that was Steve's idea, not mine.
It's all Steve's
It was
idea.
all Steve's idea. Kiwi Steve.
Kiwi Steve. Different from Kiwi. There's Kiwi and there's Kiwi Steve. Don't confuse them, people. Music or? What's happened to your hand? It's turned blue and black. Is that bruising or?
People reckon I'm going to get the leukemias and die. Come here, that'll do. Oh, look at that.
You have a glove, dude.
Oh, actually starting to get hot now.
Look at you go.
Look at that, benefits. How's a finger gloving? It's getting pretty hot, eh? So, I'm thinking maybe we should pinch the oil feed for the turbo out of this. We could pinch it out.
Okay.
We could pinch it out of this housing, but then that's going to be a
Big.
longish line.
It's going to be a longish line anyway from the other side of the motor.
Which side is the feed?
Josh, a big hole.
Look at the size of this thing. It's
That is.
like I was going to use an aftermarket oil filter housing assembly, but this thing is like 40% larger everywhere. So Toyota knows what they're doing, so I'm going to reuse it. So,
It's massive.
why thank you. Why thank you. The oil coming out of the filter is going down this one, so that's the return back to the engine. So that's that one. And
So it's the top one.
yeah, which conveniently, there's a nice little flat area there.
Doesn't it?
Maybe we can tap a thread into
It's
that.
like they knew.
Maybe they did know.
There's your glove finger going.
Look at the precision. Still better than an arm that I got to get cut off from the COVID AIDS or whatever I'm going to get. That moved just a scotch.
Lucky scotch.
Lucky the hole's that f***ing massive, it doesn't matter. Look at it. I'll put this non-flammable thing next to it.
Where'd you go?
Yeah, but I feel like one day I'm going to forget that I don't have a glove on. One has become dependent of the glove.
How good's your glove?
Blue.
What's going on here?
So it's 1/8 BSP, I think, and I need it to be 1/8 NPT.
No power tap at 3000.
Well, the internet seems to be ridiculing me for taking shortcuts.
No. I'm sure that'll work just fine.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Look, it fits.
Oh yeah.
Look, it fits.
Collar these. Spot on, Bevan. That's another reference people don't get. I'm not talking about Danny from Spot On. I'm talking about Chopper.
Harden up, Australia.
Oh, that's a thing of beauty, that is. Look at it. Just look at it.
Just look at it.
Alright, it may be a little bit difficult to get that nut on with the adapter in there, but it's no biggie. It's all about process. It's like
Look at it.
nuts, thingamajigger, manifold. Otherwise you're going to have a bad day. Look at the size of this bloody thing. Apparently, like the thermostat, which was also stuffed and I replaced before I took the car to the dyno, it's 80 series. So I reckon we'll pinch those two bolts, make a little angle jigger. Up here I'm going to have the catch can. The intercooler pipe actually, where's that go?
You know. That's even made for it. Look, it went straight over the top.
Oh my god, it even fits. What was someone else saying on YouTube? I hope you're going to detail and paint that engine up. Right.
Nah.
No, I'm just going to mock the whole thing up with it all painted and detailed. Here's an idea. Have you thought about breathing in, then breathing out straight after it? Oh, it was that obvious the whole f***ing time. Oh, good old Toyota. Let's make those two bolt threads exactly 50mm apart. So if somebody's going to make an oil filter like relocation kit later, it's easy for them to drill the holes. I got to wiggle my drill bit. I learnt that when I was tuning the Weber the other day. Methanol drill bit. It's a 6mm bolt with an 8.5mm hole, so it's plus or minus enough for it to fit. Very super-ish, this little bracket, eh?
Isn't it?
Dude.
On something.
What the f***?
Your calibration's off.
It wasn't 50mm.
Hey? How?
I measured the wrong hole.
No, I don't think you did. No. No, that's about where you had it.
No, because I was gonna shoot across from the middle of it.
It wouldn't fit then. How would you get it off?
Where am I going to hang my catch can off? Yeah, right, I meant that.
You haven't eaten for a while, eh?
I'm f***ing hungry. Oil everywhere.
You love it.
I'll keep up with your technique.
Did it work?
I'm not going to give you anything positive until there's something positive to give.
Thanks, guy. Winding up.
Wow. Okay, so I achieved my goal for yesterday. I won't say why I had a whole day on it yesterday. It wasn't related to dynos and no-shows at all. So I got the oil filter housing done, oil filter on it. The engine actually has oil in it. I guess what I'm getting to is I want to crank this thing over. We cleaned the engine out and we may have got a bit of moisture in the bores, inoxed it. But I want to try and turn it over and flush out whatever's there. So fuel pressure gauge for oil pressure gauge. Yesterday I bolted the gearbox up. That converter spaces that we did were perfect. It pulled about 3 mils out of the pump onto the flex plate, which is spot on. Starter motor's in. I ran some battery cables. Did the alternator cable, main battery, main ground from the rear. So the battery's in the boot. Starter wires inside the car. Obviously there's no other wiring in the car yet. But I guess what that means is potentially it will crank and do oil pressure things, hopefully. Maybe.
Do it.
Next week, what I've got to do next week, the manifolds aren't going to be back in time for this video, so manifolds will be on and radiator, and after that I think it's just transcooler and fuel lines and wiring.
So a couple of weeks.
Should be 2 to 3 weeks, I reckon, and then we can go lapping. I think we might go to the bowls club, do a day of it, we'll make a video of it for a day. What do you reckon?
The bowls club.
We'll just cruise around being old people.
Yes, that's good. Have you got a hat?
Mighty Calm ones did it, remember?
Oh yeah. You gotta have a hat though.
Yeah.
I had hats. All right.
This seems to be a thing.
The oil pressure-y thing. This is a thing. This is. Oh shit.
Remember how I said, when you crank it, we should probably remember to take that.
Take that rag out.
Yeah.
You didn't
Take
remember,
the
did
rag
you?
out. No.
It's like a boost rag, but now it's a belt rag. Why
We
did
can't,
you do that?
we can't put this in here, mate. People think that my competence is lacking as it is.
Yeah, well. Oh.
Yeah, it didn't
Is your
even,
aircon going to be okay?
it didn't even do didn't even do massive damage. All right,
All right.
try again.
Startery. Oil pressure. Not a rotary, mate. You can't wind it
Man,
off
you
forever.
can smell it's got some degreaser in there. It smells like Jet A1. Caro or something coming out of there. Oh, that's good.
That's good.
It sounds like a 1GZ on the starter.
That's pretty good.
It is.
It's actual legit noises. Ish.
What else we got to do?
Well,
I've sorted the fan spacing problem.
we got
I've still got to cut.
the fans from Gollaby.
We've got to cut and move radiator inlets and outlets. Section the radiator so it sits lower. There's still a fair bit of work.
Yeah, it's heaps. Well, there's quite a while in wiring, still full exhaust to do once the manifolds are on.
We've also got to going to fill this spot here with a catch can because this thing's got 2 PCVs and 2 vents. I've got to run back to that, which means pretty much everything in the engine bay is going to be chockers full of black things. Which I'm not sure where I'm going with that. And on that note, see you next week. What do I say?
Stuff about things and the fact that that used to be in there and now it isn't in there. Now it's
Okay.
over there and now it's painty because it never used to be painty last time they saw it.
The front fell off.
Well, the front did fall off. Does the front typically fall off?
Well, it's not supposed to.